Out after looking for Bigfoot. That mystery, what a mystery. The sounds of the dark, lurking the night, giving me such a fright. The foot is on the loose. Close, too close, but I know what to do to get him with the camera crew. Hold tight, this mystery. What a mystery. The night into the night, the howl. Whoops, blow my mind. Tree knocks, rock like mouth, through the night. Got that recording going. Doesn't matter if it's pouring rain. Airtight, still bagged up like your mummy in some sand land. Dummy, what a mystery for you go now. That Bigfoot, that Bigfoot, that Bigfoot, oh, 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 oh. That Bigfoot, that Bigfoot, that Bigfoot, oh, 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 oh. That's what that Bigfoot won't have nothing on me with all I see. Those red eyes that scream dark, but here I am once again. Still am I, what's it gonna take to get this cast to tape? Just where we no remain, but on the loose, tracking the sand, I ain't playing. Why you think I'm lying? Gotta take a break, I can't help it. Oh, look, a tree break, wonder what made it. Take it, place it, rearrange it. All something that looked like a mystery. Mystery. Such a mystery. That Bigfoot, that Bigfoot, that Bigfoot, oh, 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 oh. That Bigfoot, that Bigfoot, that Bigfoot, oh, 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 oh. That Bigfoot, that Bigfoot, that Bigfoot, oh, 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 oh. That Bigfoot, that Bigfoot, that Bigfoot, oh, oh, oh.
I'm having trouble trying to get that damn music video off and all that. So here I am. Welcome back. Welcome back to another live show. Hopefully everyone's had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. That's what this show is about. We're going to look at audio from our 4th of July weekend area of Bigfoot activity. Hopefully, I don't know. I haven't gone over it. So we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be new for me. It's going to be new for you. Hopefully, regardless, hopefully we can hear some fireworks and stuff because it'd be good to get some audio recordings of fireworks and stuff, different sounds and how they look on the spectrogram. I think that would be kind of cool. It might be close enough. I think it might be possible. But also, if we hear, some other crazy stuff, that'd be awesome, interesting too. Along with the next night's audio, if we are able to go through the 4th of July, we have also the 5th of July, and if you guys haven't checked out the premiere of the video that premiered an hour ago, that is our UP Bigfoot recordings of again, probably among the best of Bigfoot activity and vocals, tree knocks and not just one Bigfoot, but multiple Bigfoots that first make a call closer to us with a couple whoops, howls, vocalizations, and then you have a very just unique, long, drawn out vocalization that is pretty powerful, and you can feel the atmosphere of all of us at camper trying to just get our bearings around and listen to it and try to keep quiet, but all of us keep feeling it. So it's hilarious and stuff because in the moment when you start hearing this stuff, you want to be quiet, but there's always someone talking or rustling their feet or just zippers or anything like that. So we got pretty lucky. We were able to have that audio with a lot of good researchers up there. So the links in that video description will take you to me and Jason Kenzie's Bigfoot encounter, our face-to-face encounter, basically. at nighttime, filmed in 4K. And then the other link is the live show that we did with Jason Kenzie, and me and him basically start talking about the encounter and stuff, but we talk about the whole trip and stuff like that. So that is two awesome pieces of stuff that you would definitely want to check out if you're going to check out the those howls and vocalization and tree knock and stuff. And that's something we also can look at here in a little bit once we dive in to our main show. But we also have that lined up and stuff. And that's, I believe, the first time we showed really on Spectrogram, definitely posted as a video. I think we've definitely played those songs on live stream over the years, but I don't think they were on the Spectrogram, especially not the way I wanted to, which is when you used to be able to show Audacity and stuff on streaming platforms like StreamYard and then Restream, which is what I use now. There was usually something technically wrong where, like on Restreamer, I remember I had to jump through. You wouldn't be able to share the audio. Like you could share the screen, but you wouldn't be able to share the audio, and I'd always have to like share the display screen and jump back and forth. Or I did some other stuff a couple of times too, but sometimes it was always just a headache and stuff. So Restream used to be like that, but they just fixed all that. So we are pretty much ready to go. We also got some brand new Bigfoot songs and other songs and stuff. I'm gonna probably, put out there. I mean, put them out all together separately and stuff like that. We'll have different intros and stuff like that. But I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with our songs that we got going. I can't really say that they're really songs, like the intro. They're songs, but when I write them and stuff, when I write the lyrics and stuff, they're more like poems. They're more, a play on words of poems and Bigfoot stuff, which is hilariously funny. So we got some great stuff coming out. I think the best Bigfoot songs that you're going to see, and also guitar work and bass work and just lyrics. 1,000%. So there is just no denying that we got some amazing stuff that I think really inspired. It's hard to write songs and stuff. It's hard to write and get a good rhythm and beat and stuff going. It's kind of easy and stuff to do that because I already play the bass and already have like rhythms and little riffs and stuff already kind of made up, so it's easy kind of just to make a song and kind of do that, but it's a lot harder to make the words and stuff. But we got some stuff and all that. Where we're going to take a look at our 4th of July. Give me 1 second while I oh yeah, I didn't play again the other monitor yet. That's why I was gonna set up and have the monitoring and blah blah blah. Anyways, that is gonna be okay. Let me just do this real quick. It looks like everything's fine. All right, so let me get this started. So the first thing I like to do is to come over here and go to the spectrogram. Did I get it? There we go. So we go over here to settings, and I personally like to put the max frequency of the hertz, which is this bar on the left. I personally like to have that at 10,000 and stuff, because really anything above all that is, ultrasounds and really loud, high pitched and stuff sounds. So if there was anything that shot up way across the charts, we could always dial that back up and stuff. And so this is dual channel, and so I personally just like to only really see one. Scoot that down a little bit, pair that up so you have basically all that. And you can extend in, if you wanted to. So anyways, we come over here, and then I personally like to zoom in so you get a more closer view of everything. And it might take a little bit. Come down here to the seconds. Let me go here. Get it back up. So I like either like 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 seconds, or I like 5 second intervals. So it really just depends on my mood and what I want, but we'll keep it at 5. And before we get started, I'm going to say that this is probably going to get loud at some points, making sure that I'm okay, because I'm going to amplify and do different stuff. Also, if you're wearing headphones, I highly recommend that. That way you can definitely hear stuff better than off a phone or off a TV. But there might be times where I make a mistake, I hit a box or something, and it goes ba-dink. It's gonna rock your ears and stuff. So just be careful, because there's gonna be times where it might get loud unexpectedly and stuff. If you have headphones with a volume adjuster that you can just really play with it really fast and stuff, that's really awesome and recommended. So that's my warning to you guys. Let's get started. I'm going to get this rolling. So let's see how this listens and hears for you. Might be... I don't get my pen. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's all right.
This is the Lost Cryptids Conservatory audio wildlife recorder. If you find this, please kindly put it back. This is like a game camera, except for audio format. We'll be back to retrieve this within the 24 to 48 hours. It is Saturday, July 4th, 2026. It is 6:38 p.m.
All right, so I would stop it right there, right 6:38 p.m. as the start, the date, and all that. So the reason why I say that at the beginning is because, if someone finds this, I want them to be able to put it back. It's like a game camera. It's just an audio format. It's basically all it is. And so that's how I say it out first, in case anyone finds it and stuff like that. We are going to skip ahead. Now, here we have some birds and owls and stuff like that. So usually we can skip ahead to, like after 10 o'clock and stuff. It's good. And you can really tell with all the birds and stuff. We'll just take a listen. So I think these sounds right here are what I would describe as the neighborhood bug that likes to just mess with my recorder about every single time or every other time. And so, which is kind of a headache, because sometimes it does drown out stuff, and also it gives false. There's a couple things that we're going to check. It gives false readings like, wood knocks and stuff, but it's not. It's not a wood knock and stuff. It's actually just the bug or a combination of things next to the recorder, next to the recorder bag and stuff. But this I want to hear is probably like a car or some kind of fireworks, maybe. That's what I'm guessing because I don't really recognize that signature and stuff. You know, if it was an airplane, I'd be able to hear it and see it a lot better, and you'd actually have these stripes. And we've explained this before. So that's what I'm guessing that is. And so you scroll, see these false positives and stuff, and you do want to check basically everything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like fireworks. So that that sounds like rustling and stuff. It might be something actually potentially next to the recorder and stuff. If we go back farther and stuff, we could maybe hear something come up to it. But from my pattern and of doing this for many, 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 many days and weeks now, it's most likely the bug. Bug. And that is the sound that I typically hear. And sometimes I find little chew marks upon the bag and stuff, just very tiny, like an ant or something. There's also times where I found basically slugs that slither on it and all that. But we're gonna skip ahead because we need to basically get later in night, and I'm pretty sure that's what this is going to be, is some type of fireworks. And also, it's different than a tree knock and the stuff that I've shown you guys and stuff because it's carries and stuff. It's wide and it carries and stuff. Where tree knocks are actually very slim and stuff. We do have some that are if you're closer and they're loud, they do carry over. They drag over like you have this, where it drags over here. But typically they are straight and stuff, and depending on how close. But so preferably you would want to do scroll this way like that, and you see how often it keeps repeating, right? The pattern of it's repeating and repeating. It's most likely fireworks, right? See, like this would be like a tree knock, but we know that the bug is messing with the recorder, which is annoying because you should and have to check everything, but after a while of checking, it's like, there's that bug again. You might skip something that actually might be genuine, and if so, it really is kind of a pain in the butt to do this and all that. But we are going to skip ahead just a little bit. There could be potential stuff in there, but like this liner and stuff right here. So we're basically, I just go, and when I see these lines, and they're all like da 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 da, I know that's the bug crumpling the bag next to the recorder, basically. But you should still check everything. We're just gonna check a little bit. Hear it crunching. Sometimes I picture like a grasshopper, munching on something, And this is kind of what gunshots look like and sound like. This is an airplane, I believe. A jet. But you see these horizontal lines and stuff. Usually means like airplane flying by or a big jet or. So we're gonna keep skipping though. It was like 6:30 something. And you can see, let's go back and stuff. You can see the patterns and stuff. Now, this is something that you would want to look at and stop and look at. And that is a bigger thump. The only problem is it's 4th of July, right? So it's probably most likely, I would say, well, it's probably a firework. But if it wasn't 4th of July, I would say, well, what would that be? I think it's, like a thump of a tree or something, but like those big thud sounds that I posted before that was on caught on April 26th. Obviously that would have been fireworks or anything like that. So let's keep going on. Hopefully there's more. We're just getting started, so I'm sure. And if you guys have any questions, comments, and all of that, let me know. I will. I gotta kind of like look on over and all that. So we kind of have to disregard some of the stuff that we probably normally would have been like, okay, well, like, I would have amplified it and try to look at it, listen to it a little bit more. But we're gonna go to this one. The only problem when I try to scroll like this is you go by really fast, which is good when you want to scroll back and forth. You can see where all those the bug is getting at. I'm gonna go back over here. Yeah, there's a couple of these. This is probably the bug. Yeah. And I think we're at 2 hours and something. There we go. That definitely is the firework right there. 100%. 100%. Boom. You hear that? It's, out of a tube. So this is a good reference and stuff because I got sounds and stuff that are thuds and stuff that are, well, it's not 4th of July. It's not a holiday you light fireworks off. Boom, boom. Yep. So that's what it is. And it's good to have this as a reference and stuff. So let's keep going. Let's skip ahead a little bit to something else that really jumps out at us. Like this normally would, but it says it's 4th of July, Perfect. Nice little different kind of pops and stuff. Awesome. I was definitely glad I was able to get the audio out there and stuff on 4th of July. I didn't know if I was going to be able to, but it only happens once a year, so. That is kind of some kind of tapping sound, but it's not really loud or anything like that. So usually I would go over here to volume and compression, go to amplify. I like to go 6.5 at a time. Yeah, it's just a little tap kind of a thing, not really significant enough to say anything other than nature. But we'll keep that box there. Then, scroll a little bit. Those are most likely fireworks. I apologize. Every time I click on it, it takes the box up. Fireworks, I'm guessing. Yeah. And they're distinct and stuff, So different kind of fireworks. Obviously, are going to have different kind of signatures. We got more fireworks all there, more fireworks, more fireworks. Now we have birds stuff still. Let's get going over here. So we're at like 8 hours, 8 o'clock. I mean, still not dark enough because she still got birds going and stuff. So still got that, whatever kind of bird that is. I don't know why. There. That should be better. Scrolling back and forth, scrolling back and forth. We kind of know that this is obviously fireworks and stuff. Let's just check it out. Fireworks. What I'm hoping is, you hear fireworks, and then you have like a nice tree knock that we can definitely tell the difference, because we have examples basically all night to look at and different kinds of examples too. And then, you could always go back and highlight the different kinds of fireworks and compare them to exactly if we did find something, So this is basically what I do when I have the time every other day. I am behind, obviously, but I can come on live and do it with you guys and stuff. Do a fast little go through. It's not really too complicated and hard once you get used to it, the sounds and stuff. I mean, but I will be honest, there could be stuff in the background that isn't really showing up. Like a little line right here, like this little line. You could potentially have like a knock that when you listen to it, it's like, oh, it sounds like a tree knock, like a knocking on a tree of wood sounds different than any of these fireworks, than shooting guns and stuff like that. And we have examples as to show that there is a difference between these sounds. A good example would be if you listen to the fireworks on this live show, and then you listen to the tree knock that we have in the Upper Peninsula Bigfoot recordings. You can clearly tell a difference. You can clearly tell, well, that's a tree knock. These are fireworks. It definitely is a difference. So more of the bug really going at it and stuff, which is disappointing at times because, it's like if we didn't have, and, ooh, there's something. Probably the bug, but like this would be an example of when I get the better recorder or different recorders, I'm going to have different response, but you can see how it would be, clean background noise without the bug interfering and stuff and giving false positives. Like basically I'm assuming this would be, and what happens is you start assuming and stuff, but what we're looking for is something that kind of looks like that. Maybe more pronounced, more detailed, and carry on and stuff, like the birds, carry on and stuff. So that was a little bit different than the bug. I think there was one back here, wasn't there? Two? No. It was a bit different. I thought there was firework. That's another problem when you super scroll and stuff. You lose your plays. We'll just do that. All right. All right, so we're gonna amplify the sound and stuff. I thought there was like another one. We're going to do that. Put our marker right there in case we get lost along the way. I'm gonna go backwards for a little bit because I thought there was something back here, but this. That. But I would assume that those were the bugs. Let's take a listen. Yeah, that's nothing. That's nothing. And I would assume that that's probably then the bug. It just makes a louder, like popping sound. It's not like fantastically, oh my gosh. The next sound that we're about to hear is what I'm talking about. It's not like a. It is definitely more, and you can tell that's like, that's like not a firework. But is this a clicking sound from a bug? Because it's not. All right, so since we already have, I apologize. That's that's what I'm talking about. Those mistakes that are really loud. Yeah, I mean it's pretty. I don't think it's a wood knock. I think it's like the bug. I don't know. I don't think it's a wood knock. We're gonna keep it boxed though, and then we're going to rename it. Just a simple question mark number 1. And then we'll go through and add them all up. But really, I would assume that's the bug and stuff, and which is good to have because it sounds like a tapping noise. It's not quite the sounds that I have before in the background. Big thuds, those tree knocks, the tree snaps. I mean, those are clearly defined, loud things, whereas that is. So you can't, definitely can't say it's Bigfoot. Not going to say it's Bigfoot or anything like that. And plus, we have all this evidence of the bug that is next to the recorder. Even though this sounds, that other sound sounds different than these sounds, you kind of have to disregard it unless you find maybe, wow, there's a huge tree knock. There's a bunch of other stuff that maybe would help correlate that sound. And that's why I don't like the bug sometimes, but I love the spot. So, because it does produce. So it's like, I do have a idea for another spot, but it's going to be the high end camera recorder. Basically, I have to be able to set it out there at least once a week. Don't have to treat it at least once a week. I mean, or once a month or whatever. 3 months, whatever that crazy one is. And so, you got to just. You got to submit to your integrity and stuff because you can't, because, I could easily try to manipulate that other sound and then try to, pass it off as a wood knock and stuff like that. You could do that if you were really good at audio and stuff like that. And, I didn't go over it live for you guys and all that. There's people out there that 100% could do that and do that or think it is Bigfoot because they don't really know or they want to believe so much. Like they think, oh, the Bigfoot's like touching the recorder, he's touching the bag, and it's not the bug. But you gotta understand that recorders usually have like a light, or they smell. They have chemicals and oils and stuff like that, the bag and stuff like that. So, you're most likely gonna have, especially if it's a constant pattern all night long, which you have many recordings of the same pattern. It's a bug. These are birds and stuff like that. It's not. We don't have to. You don't have to fake stuff. You don't have to tell big fish stories and stuff like that about every little night. Oh, I got something. When you get something, you'll get something. You get excited. But that was a bird. Because it is easy to manipulate audio. You could. Tap, tap, tap. Oh, it's a Bigfoot at the recorder. So you really just have to be careful. And I know I'm going slow and stuff, but this is normally what we would want to look for on a nice clean night with no interference from a bug, or like in fall, or like in winter, when there's no bugs. This is what we're kind of looking for as you're scrolling along. And it's nothing but the bug next to recorder, which I have to be honest, it is annoying sometimes. It is annoying, but it is what it is. Not sure. Amplify that really, really quick. We should have it already set up. That's a jet. Yeah, if I did the whole this whole screen, we'd probably hear it better here in a little bit. Yep, it's a jet. Don't see much of it, but those are actually the lines. If it was closer, it'd be all the way down to the bottom of the hertz level range, the closer it was to you. But yep, you can hear the sounds of that. Let's get this line right here. You hear that jet and stuff in the background. We're gonna check basically all these kind of ones, even though we know it's pretty much the bug. Let's skip ahead just a little bit. There's some fireworks. More fireworks. The bug. All right, let me check for spot here. So yeah, I mean, pretty much, you just you hope for the best and you expect pretty much nothing. Nothing but bugs is what I expect my bug. Bob the Bug. He is there mostly every other time. That's a beautiful look at this. Let's just take a look at this real quick. Yeah, it's pretty much as good as it's good to get. But it's pretty beautiful looking. You see a straight line dips down and then it echoes up like that and stuff. It looks like a bird, you know. It's beautiful. And then you have the fluttering like that's amazing how that happens, you know. And in the morning, you know, this whole thing just lights up with music and beautiful patterns. Look at that. And they're all communicating and stuff, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful art and stuff. And then here we go. Look at that. It looked like a bird. Looks like a bird dropping some deuces on people. But it looks like a bird. Even has a little red eye. Look at that. It's a bird, beak, head, body, wings, dropping bird doo-doo on people. That is pretty cool. I've actually never seen one quite like that, design-wise and stuff, you know. I might not see Bigfoot in bushes, and I might not see a Bigfoot face in here, but I see the bird, a bird dropping poo-poo. And see how look at that one's spread out and stuff, right? So like it's delayed, and like you can see how it's basically it's the same sound, but it's different. He's not doing it as much. He's delaying it, and that's fascinating. A little chirp, fluttering to. Doing the laser sounds. It is awesome. It's awesome to just spend time out there. I also, I was going to go live way earlier, a couple days earlier, but just how it happens. Anyways, I went out and heard some sounds and stuff, and I was like, what is that sound? I think I put the recorder out, or I took it, grabbed, or something like that. And it was these sounds, and at first I was like, it sounds like a little small animal, like maybe it was like a herd or something. And got down, walked around and stuff, and then I heard it, and I heard some more again. I was like, you know what, that kind of sounds like playing. And ran over this little embankment to where it was, and it was a bunch of little raccoon pups or kids or whatever, little raccoon babies playing at the base of a tree and stuff. And the first thing I looked at was looking for Mama, because I did not want to become in between her and stuff. But Mama wasn't around, and so I'm pretty sure I snagged a picture. I thought I can share that and stuff, but my phone's been I got to make room on my phone, so it might have been one of those that I might not have got, but there was one that was pretty brave, sticking his head up. It came right in a friendly, curious way, came towards me, and I had to pick up a little stick and like try to stop him. And he was kind of like stubborn and strong, and so I just told him, hey, don't follow me. Your mom's gonna be coming back, So when I was driving away and stuff further away down the road and all that, see Mom was running across the road. I was like, oh, she's beelining. Because I did beat my horn and stuff, kind of, because I knew, Mama was probably going to be there. I didn't want no predators to find them and stuff. So I was like, let me honk my horn really loud. I know Mom was going to be just running over this way. And she did. So, because I wanted her to go get her babies and all that, there's coyotes and all that. So, And I actually seen her like a week or so before that. I treed her, she was slowly climbing up that tree and stuff. Her maybe babies might have been close by, or she was just, got treed. But I love nature. I love finding animals, looking and viewing animals and stuff, and it is beautiful. Got a friendly bug and the bird soaring across the screen. We're going to skip ahead. We're going to try to get past all the bug. We got fireworks. We got the bug. Take a look at this one, even though probably it's the bug. And this is a lot of tap because from the bug, because it's like a thick line. Usually what you would see is a line that looks like this, but when you zoom in, like it wouldn't be like thick like this. It's actually a bunch of individual little lines that are like really close together. That's actually what I normally see the bug doing. So let's keep going. And yeah, some people might find this boring and stuff. But if you're doing audio and stuff, this is what you have to do. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, listen to it? Oh, I hear something. People do that. But, this is way more efficient. You can scroll through it, see it, look at all the individual stuff. And if you really wanted to, you can listen to it. The only problem is there's no way I could listen to over 500 hours worth of audio. I can look through it. We can look through 500 hours, but not listen to it. And so we know it's the bug, which is disappointing because we're halfway through, and it's like, And my battery, I'm guessing on the recorder, for some reason my recorder shut off because I didn't record. Oh, actually, no, never mind. I think I edited it and just chopped it up so we only have half the time, which is what I usually do when presented it. But my recorders have been shutting off. At first, I thought it was because of the heat and all that, but then it recorded like 26 hours and it was still going, and it had full battery and stuff the last couple of days and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I don't understand. Maybe, and the humidity and stuff, it all plays a factor. But at the same time, there's been times where I expected my batteries to be completely dead from the heat, and because I ignored, it's what you expected, completely full still. And there's been times where it's like, I don't expect the batteries to be dead or dying and all that, and they are completely dead. And so it's like, I don't know. I think it's just the weather. I need new recorders anyways, a little bit better, high-tech ones. I'll take all the money you guys want to give me donation-wise, because we're going to get more audio. I'm about to go order at least 2 more. Oh, and you see how this just jumps from the concussion. Boom. And in our big thud video, you can see this bar move up slightly and stuff. Not as big as these big concussions, but you can tell that there's a thud going on. Then we have our drawn-out vocalization, 2 or 3 whoops, tree knock, tree break, whatever it is. I kind of say the same thing, a tree knock, even though like a tree snap or breaking, I guess, is something different, right? That you can see, and it's different than these fireworks. And that's another reason why I wanted to get the audio recorder out there on the 4th of July, is to show you guys the big thud video that I just put out, that the recording was recorded on 4/26 of this year. Those thuds, those vocalizations are completely different than the thuds that we're hearing from any fireworks that are being lit in the area. So if someone was lighting fireworks off back then, we should hear the same people lighting off fireworks now because, you know, it's 4th of July. It's when you would buy fireworks. You would light them off. You can legally and all. So if you light them off randomly on April 26th, why wouldn't that same person light them off now? And you can tell that these are obviously louder and stuff. They are completely different. We have vocalization in the Big Thud video and all that. Hello, Bat Mom. Appreciate you and stuff. I hope you having a wonderful night and had a wonderful weekend of the 4th of July. We got some more Bigfoot songs and stuff, all cooked up and stuff. Bat Mom, I think you're gonna really love them, especially if you enjoyed the ones that you've heard. Bat Mom, I think you're gonna just you're gonna keep loving them. You know, I think. I hit a little bit of magic, I think. A little bit of something came out of the ether, and you know, I was writing fool, man. So all right, let's keep going. It's been about an hour, so I want to finish this. We can take a look at the other one and stuff a little bit faster and all that. So this is, I'm guessing, rain. This is the rain and the storm and stuff that came in. And you see where in wind. This is also what wind would look like, but this is rain. Yep. So now the bug is not really going to be doing his thing as much. So if we have a loud knock and stuff like that, and so I just want to show you that you know, lower bass concussions and lower hertz range and stuff like that, infrasound, you know, low tone bassy sounds are going to be, you know, this bright orange color, and they're going to be lower to the bottom of the scale of the hertz range because, you know, that's what the low end is. But the louder or the big cuss of thunder, of fireworks, you know, is obviously what is down here and stuff. So these low growls, the low kind of infrasound and stuff like that would be on the very end of the spectrum. And if you notice, there are a lot of different spikes, even on a regular night, that, you know, are hard to hear because they're low, very low and stuff, and hard to bring up. That, you know, are easily missed, overlooked, or you just like, you know, well, I mean, you know, it's probably, and you don't have time, or you just, you know, most of the time, you know, you don't have time to scroll and listen to every little thing that isn't majorly jumping out. So I believe that we are missing a lot of different potential sounds and stuff like that. These low end stuff that people report, you know, experiencing firsthand, but we're not getting on, you know, recordings and stuff. We have these whoops, we get in knocks and stuff like that. But there's other stuff that's reported that we are not getting. That in the Big Thud video, I think there's more vocalizations and mumblings going on, but it's lower and it's all mixed into the background. And I personally just don't know how to bring it out. Don't have good enough software and all that, or really the knowledge and expertise to professionally do that, which is needed, you know. Really bad and all the stuff that we have, but we have good stuff. And so how do we have good stuff? As well, we put the recorders out there when no one wants to, you know. When I say, hey, who wants to come put the recorder out with me? We got to go walk like a mile this way. And no one out of a group of whoever, you know, wants to, besides one person. It's like, okay, well, don't expect to get anything, you know, because no one's doing it. And so, you know, it sucks. But you got to do it. You got to put the effort in. You got to put the work in. Because you won't ever get anything if you don't try. Right there sounds like the bug signature. And so we have these lines and stuff. We're establishing a pattern, a baseline of ambient sounds of rain, of these natural sounds, of what it sounds like. So, like there, that's probably thunder, firework. But yeah, so you can scroll through this and kind of already know, like, oh, here's the bugs, here's some fireworks, here's a little bit louder tap and stuff that we haven't seen that we would expect to be the bug. Maybe something else. It's a loud tap. I'm guessing it's a loud tap at the recorder itself. And that's exactly what it was. A loud tap tunk at the recorder itself. That is a bug tapping the recorder itself, basically right on the mic. That is a sound that I've heard dozens and dozens and dozens of times on a dozen or so, at least, recordings. And that's how I exactly knew what it was going to be, because you recognize exactly what the pattern of these sounds and what it should look like and what you're expecting to find, what you're looking for. And the only way you get good at that is by experiencing the ambient sounds of nature while you're out there, and also on here. Most likely fireworks. Most likely the bug. Because you have these tapping sounds, tap, tap, tap. And the bug is still next to the recorder doing this recorder because the recorder's not getting wet. It's in a spot that's dry. And so the bug is dry. The bug's continuing to do its thing. You can see the noise in the background. We're going to fast scroll as we're trying to just look at anything that really pops up to us. And that's basically what I'm doing, and how you get really good and really fast. Is there stuff to potentially to be missed? Yep. Because we're not listening fully through the audio. Most likely bug. And that's what it is, And until something really jumps out at me, smacks me in my face, clear vocal, I can tell what an owl is, the same owl signatures, coyotes, stuff like that. We do have an awesome coyote. I think it'll probably be the next video audio we'll do, this coyote sound that makes basically a vowel sound. And, but this is what we would kind of look like for tree knocks and stuff, except for they would be not orange color. They're usually, orange color would be if it's super loud close to the recorder, but you have a big thick line and then a little carry off, except for it'd be typically up in this range, So we have a lot of disturbance from the bug. Bug and rain and just water droplets falling down. Up here we have, I thought there was coyotes in there for a second. Maybe. No, just more fireworks. Bunch of them going off. Hopefully you guys can hear it. All of that and stuff. But if not, you can, just listen along while I visually explain it and show you. And on a typical night and stuff, I might go do this a couple of times, Typically, I like to fast scroll through to try to find something major, especially if I'm doing it in the morning before work. And then, like after work or whatever, or later at night after I get everything done, and it's like, 11 o'clock at night, I'll sit down here and we'll just take a listen to this. We'll do the slower scroll through, which is a lot better because it's a big firework. Big one. So you can easily, see stuff a lot easier. You don't miss stuff. You can stop faster. You don't have to go back and forth. Blah 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 blah. It just takes longer, But literally, this is what you do. And it totally makes some really good AI programs that you can teach to, like, I'm looking for this, 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 and this, or whatever, and really train it. Train it and train it and train it and train it. Yeah, do things yourself. But you can clearly tell that these are fireworks, not tree knocks, not like the evidence that we have shown and will show, continue to show. Because sooner or later, we're going to keep getting more stuff because it's already happened. It continues to happen. I expect it to happen. It just doesn't look quite like it happened tonight on the 4th of July. Which is okay, I don't know. I was kind of half expecting maybe there'd be some kind of tree knock or something. I don't know. Response to the fireworks, but maybe they're watching the fireworks. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, obviously there's fireworks shows close enough that they could go and walk to, and watch if they really wanted to, right? So, who knows? I just wanted to put the recorder out there to get all this information and data on the fireworks, what it looks like signature wise. But also, hopefully, there was going to be something that would just, smack you in the face like, oh my gosh, clearly it's not a bug. Like our friend happened to just be here tonight and do. So, And will I go back and listen to every single one of these? And I have to, because there could be something that we're just missing that. And when you hear it, you're gonna hear the difference between the bug sounds, the firework sounds, and a tree knock that is in the background. Because if it's this bluish color and kind of fading away kind of a thing, it's in the background, farther away, the closer, farther and stuff. You can tell the difference by the sounds, the thud, the contact of wood, the breaking apart of something. It definitely sounds different than the bug sounds and stuff like that. But it is the bane of my spot is the bug. But it just produces it's good old reliable, and I just can't. I'm gonna always put this, have this as a spot. Maybe put a little bit better recorder there, or I definitely have a spot that's really close, right next to this, basically, that no one's going to be able to get to. That I actually have to take professional equipment to get to. But I only want to put a professional recorder out there, and that's going to be about $800 for that one. Now there are other recorders that I'm going to get purchased that are cheaper and stuff like that, $100. But that one that I really want is about $800 that I am going to place basically right next to this, in a spot where no one's going to get, and it's going to be out there for a month at a time or more, and really be able to take it to the next level, which is what I need, which is what we need. Because we are definitely finding stuff, even if it doesn't happen every single night, which I don't expect to. I don't claim that stuff happens all the time, every night, every single time I go out and stuff. But when stuff does happen, I get excited. I like to try to at least tell you guys about it. A lot of let me listen to this. A lot of the recordings that we're putting out now, they've been in storage, locked up in the vault. I've thought a lot about, there's a lot of stuff that's happened over the last couple of years, last 5 years and stuff since all this audit, since our UP expedition. There's been a lot that's happened, and different ways and thoughts and processes I wanted to go about different things, stuff like that. Anyways, I'm burning it out now, and it's raw, basically raw format, short, easy to digest. It's not a glamorous documentary storytelling and take you into, it's like, frankly, I just don't have the time to do everything and that, and it's not something that, it's something I want to do, but it's just not something that I'm just easily able to do proficiently enough right now. What I can do proficiently enough is to get the evidence and share it right away and present it in a way that it's only the evidence that matters anyways. I don't need a 2-hour-long documentary to show you, a 2-minute long evidence recording of recordings, and yeah, I could be out there and film myself and I want to, while it happens, be dramatic, have that music playing and stuff like that, and put some stuff on Amazon and Tubi and all that. But at the same time, you guys are getting the evidence, especially if I find stuff now, basically as soon as it happens, kind of a thing, because I have nothing to hide. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm presenting. I know what sounds are and stuff like that. I might not eloquently write the right captions, descriptions and stuff and blah, 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 blah. But it doesn't matter. I'm getting evidence, putting it out there, showing you guys, putting the raw stuff. I have all the data. If you guys want it, just ask, I might not reach out to people first, but if they reach out to me, I will gladly spend my time and share stuff and talk with you and stuff. So, but I don't reach out to people first. Typically, I might, but typically I don't. Actually, I'm kind of really bad about that because, I say, oh yeah, I'll call you. And then, I don't ever call. And it's like, oh yeah, I meant to. And it's just, things come up. I would say things used to come up a lot more. But now that we have our new studio, new home, new place, everything like that, everything's pretty smooth now. I got a lot more time, but old habits, I guess. Well, that was a big dud. Nothing but bird sounds and fireworks. What's this? Bug. Taking a big old crumb out of it. That's okay. We're going to stop sharing that real quick. I'm going to come back over here. We're going to take a look at some of the UP audio actually real quick because there actually is real audio. And then we'll super fast scroll through July 5th audio from the Sunday night, I believe, right? And then we'll call it a show. That'll probably be about 2 hours. It's going to be 11, and I'm getting hungry again, so I'm going to eat some chicken or maybe some nachos. But then we'll play some music. All right, let's do this one, I guess. Give me a second. Got to pause the other video, and then we'll do this, and then short one, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Next time I will.
well, let's hope that them cams was on at that time. I was confident they were, but then when I went to check them, they were both off.
Well,
The battery's good.
curious to hear the audio.
Now that's the thing we did. That audio was running, and you could tell an awful lot from what it said.
Is that a coyote?
Was that a coyote? Yeah, I don't know if this is right here what we're listening to. Let me split the clip. You can see where I split the clip in the original.
When I went to check them, they were both off. They were both off. They were both off.
Now this was recorded on the daytime, during the daytime, and people were hearing stuff at the swamp and stuff. And so this is something that was recorded, and people thought that they were Bigfoot. I wasn't there to hear this. I was actually off trail doing other stuff. I believe it was when I scouted around for this recorder location where I set up the recorder, where then me and Jason had our encounter, because I scouted the hour that day, and then when I got back, they were hearing stuff in the swamps and stuff like that. So that was something that was heard in the swamp. It's not as epic nor as awesome as some of this other stuff that we are about to hear. Let me do all this real quick. Do this and reshare. And we're going to take a look at the wood tree knock that we got up there during the night. And so you hear Jason Kenzie making his calls and stuff, and then it actually responds, which is awesome. And so you can watch me and Jason Kenzie's Bigfoot encounter on this channel, and also the interview that we have with Jason after all this stuff, after we get back from our expedition. So let's take a listen to this.
If we do get a vocal report, we should turn that from getting it from out. Right now it's set on wide, so we can get this, but we won't get
Tree knock.
All right, then we got it.
Boom! Ain't no nothing that like a small tree knock. It's a big tree knock. Let's hear it again.
Wide, so we can get this, but we won't get
Tree knock.
wide, so we can get this, but we won't wide, so we can get this, but wide, so we can get this, but we won't get
Tree knock.
All right, then we got it.
All right, and then we got it, and that's Robert Kreider, and we're all excited because there's a lot of stuff that was happening and stuff before this. I believe the first night that we camped out there, Jason Kenzie heard and what he believes is the Sasquatch basically comes up to his hammock and stuff, walks around and walks away. You know, he gets out and wakes up another person who's right there, and they're sleeping. It wasn't them walking around. Yeah, you know, he's we're making noises and stuff, you know, because we're excited, and you have a tree knock response to the to Jason's calls, and we're literally at camp. In the middle of the woods and stuff, basically miles from the main road. And there's a lot of activity that happened at this camping spot at main camp when there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people there, 12 people there, depending on the night. You know, there's up to 15 people at this camp, but not everyone's spent the night there and stuff. Yeah, it was amazing and stuff. So we'll take a listen to this again.
Wide, so you can get this, but we won't get wide, so you can get this, but we won't get wide, so you can get this, but we won't get.
And you can hear the difference in the sound of that between the fireworks that we've been listening to all night, right? It's a clear difference. You know, that sounds like a Louisville slugger smacking a tree, not fireworks.
Wide, so you can get this, but we won't get
Tree knock.
All right, so we got it.
Damn right. And so amazing, just amazing stuff. That's close, real close. So we're gonna play the this next video clip of this howls and stuff, and then the next clip, which is actually one big clip. I cut it in half, but these actually, you'll notice that when Jason says, where do you think that was? Oh, over there. The next clip starts off saying, where do you think that was? Oh yeah, over there. And then you hear the response. So in the first clip we're about to play, one Bigfoot. The second clip we're about to play after this next one is the response that happens just seconds after. So, you know, prepare to be blown away. Be prepared to be blown away. And, you know, this is stuff we talked about. I've shown, I played the audio on live streams and stuff, but I don't ever think I shown, like, the spectrograph of the sounds and stuff like that. And it's all already pre-enhanced. Vocal 1. Give me a second. I gotta push a button over here, and then we go over here.
Another one.
Yep, you hear that?
Which way is that?
Right behind you.
All right, so these lines, these horizontal lines right here, about the 600 to 700 hertz levels right here, this long line, vocalization, and then you have another vocalization, bam. Then when the recording stops, the next recording I'm about to play starts literally right there. So this is the vocalization, and then the next one is going to be the response. And take a listen to this again.
Another one. Another one.
Yep, you hear that?
Which way is that?
Right behind you.
Pretty cool stuff, huh? Pretty cool stuff. Better than most, because it's actually out there and we experienced it. Plus, we had our face-to-face encounter. There's lots of stuff that add up to Bigfoot vocalization. It's not just a one-off thing that we heard. We have other stuff that adds up to exactly what was happening and what we have experienced and stuff. So I'm pretty adamant about this being legit Bigfoot howls, especially when you hear this one. Watch this. See this big old line right there? See that big old line? That's the response. This is the response, okay? Now listen.
Behind you.
Yeah, sound like this way, right?
Yep. Oh,
There's the truck.
behind you.
Yeah, sound like this way, right?
Yep. Oh,
There's the truck.
And now this one is about 800 hertz range, and it is long, drawn out. But at the very beginning, you hear this, ooh, ooh. So it's this like, ooh, and then it's ooh. You hear it briefly. It doesn't really show up on the spectrogram, but those who are listening and those who know and those who really know what they're looking for, you can hear it. You know it's there. It's there, and that is what makes it so unique, because that is how I do my vocalizations. For one. You go woo, ooh, you like it's basically you're like sucking in ooh, ooh, and then you push it out. It's what I try to practice and stuff. I do different calls, different techniques, low calls, whoops. But that is definitely one that I have heard, but it's one I try to do because, well, I mean, there's one prime example. Now, we're all at camp hearing this. We're all making noises. You know, we're all about shitting our pants after this because we cannot believe what is happening at night, what is happening at our camp, and there's half a dozen people there or more, like 10 people, I believe, or about there at that. I don't think everyone was there, but there was about 10 people there, and hearing this in real time, hearing all of this in real time. And we just set up recorders, and there's people that have recorders, and there's like, I don't know, 5 recorders going and stuff. So thermal going. So you can listen to some of those interviews and stuff we did after this back in July, maybe July and September of like 2001 and stuff like that, where we did interviews and we talked about our experiences and stuff that happened to all of us, because there's a number of things actually, and these recordings of what we believe is real Bigfoot, not just one, but multiple ones with vocalizations, tree knocks. Me and Jason's encounter where we seen them. We've seen the silhouettes. We've seen the eye shine reflecting off our lights. You can see the eye shine in that video that is on the channel and stuff in its raw form. You can watch the video on Tubi with Searching for Sasquatch Part 3, Part 1, Part 2. It's number 3, number 4, I think. But really, it's like Part 1 and Part 2. But it's cut up a little bit. It's not the full uncut video is what you will see on my channel. You can watch it in 4K. I've talked about it a lot, our experiences and stuff like that, and so this is a prime example of some of the stuff that we experienced that we can show you, that we fairly, very confident that we believe that everyone who heard this and experienced this believes that, oh yeah, there's no doubt Sasquatch. And we have it. We have kind of proof. And so this is one of the best visualizations that you will see of a actual Bigfoot howl. That.
oh,
There's the truck.
Now you try to go outside and do that. It's it takes some lungs, But so listen to it before it hits this mark, from like here to here. I'm gonna play it from over here, but right before this sound, you hear this intake sound. Ooh, before he pushes out. And then you'll hear that. And that right there is very unique Bigfoot signature, I personally believe, and I would say all these people do too. All right, take a listen.
Oh,
It's loud. It's a pretty high pitch. It's an interesting sound.
oh,
That is something going, ooh, ooh, and that's some lung power, you know.
oh, oh, oh,
Amazing vocalization. These are not tree knocks or anything. These are just people moving around. That's why everyone's like, shush, be quiet, blah, 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 blah. It just shows you how delicate it is to try to capture these sounds, because if it was over here when we were talking, I'd be able to hear it, wouldn't be able to see it as clearly and stuff, you know. But it's there. It's amazing.
oh,
So when people just make fun of you because you're in the woods looking for Bigfoot, I laugh because I already know they're real. I've experienced this stuff so many times. I have stuff recordings. Like, you're not going to phase me. I've had family laugh at me. I've had girlfriends' families laugh at me. Everyone that walks of life. You mentioned Bigfoot, you get the eyes rolled. They laugh, and yet I'm out there thankful that I get to experience this stuff like no one else really does. And they're so closed-minded that they don't even try to come out here. They won't even come out with me. Like, I beg people to come out. Just come out. Come on. Come out with me. Excuses after excuses. And, I've had people that you would never expect, be braver than men, tough, big guys. I've had little scrawny, petite girls go out and be out with me out there, no problem. So I just find it so ironic when you'll have people who laugh at you, but yet they won't go out there. What are they afraid of? There's nothing really out there, right? There's nothing out there. I know there's stuff out there. And I keep going. I keep going at it because I find stuff. You might hit plateaus. You might hit a rough patch. You might, slow down, stuff like that. Life happens. But you know what? If you keep at it, you keep working hard, and you keep doing it diligently and honestly, being honest to yourself about what you're finding, I think it's a wonderful thing. It's very, very fruitful from the people you meet, for discussions you have, the fun you have. I definitely hope I can do this for many years to come, and I've worked and working hard to make that happen. A lot of things have happened in my life that have been good and bad the last couple of years, and we're in a nice, good track. We got our own place, our own home, new office, studio. Everything is secured for years to come now. So now we're just opening up these recordings like it's Christmas every single time we do it, because we're able to just do it with ease now. It is really effortlessly able to be able to do this now. So I'm very happy, and less stress and everything else. So I do hope that if you found these recordings and stuff interesting, I hope you do share it and all that. We are going to take a look at this next little piece of audio. I'm going to super scroll real fast because I'm going to wrap this up within 12 minutes, 11 minutes, 10 minutes. I'm going to eat. I got to do some laundry, throw some laundry in and around. Probably stay up until midnight at least. Get up at 5. No matter how late I stay up, I get up at 5 and put in a good day's worth of tree slaughtering and climbing, or who knows. I know there's one basswood tree that we're gonna basically fell, which is gonna be easy. 2 6-foot pines or 6-foot evergreens, firs. And then there's something storm damage or something on the house. Who the heck knows? I don't know. There's been a lot of storms lately and stuff. Big old massive trees. 12-hour shift. Getting these 2 trees completely down on the ground. Cut up, hauled away. Stump grinded. Filled in. Topsoiled, seed, strawed. It was a lot. Hollow. They're hollow as crap. We had a fell one and it was hollow or the crap. Dangerous. Lucky. You just stop counting how many times you potentially get almost hurt and maimed or die. But you almost lost me a couple times this last week or two. Not like crazy bad, but there was some times it's like, man, you get hurt. This ain't no joke. People die all the time in this industry. We see it every week, basically. Someone fell. There's videos, people doing dumb stuff. It's like, man, I was just doing this. I just did that. Except for I did, I was safe about it. Didn't do it the wrong way. And feel very lucky to be able to be where I'm at right now. I'm just reflecting over this last couple of years and 4th of July's and where we're at. So let's segue out of that and into this audio. But if I come back here and I'm missing a hand or I got some fingers gone or I'm all smashed up and broken, I'm still going to be out there in a wheelchair with crutches or a little hover pack when they invent them for disabled people if I break my back or whatever. I don't know. Hopefully that never happens. I've been very lucky, but I stopped. There's been a couple times this last week where I stopped other people from getting severely hurt because they standing in the wrong spot. And they even got pinched because they're standing in a spot that doing something that you never would have thought that you would have got pinched over there when we're lifting up the tailgate of this thing. Oh my gosh, but yeah, saved a couple people from getting really hurt, like really hurt. You gotta know where to stand. Gotta know how to operate, where to stand, what the trees, things they're gonna do in the chipper, what way they're gonna whip and fly and poke, and yeah. Too many videos online where you see people get hurt and all that. So I personally make sure, like, safety. I want you to stand here, or if you're doing something I don't like. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to call you out and say, hey, don't be doing that. Because I don't want you to be getting hurt for doing something dumb. Telling homeowners all the time, hey, you can't be doing that. You can't work on my job site. That's what I tell people. I don't care if you're the owner. You're not going to be sticking something through that chipper. You don't know what you're doing. You're not doing it. I don't care how small. I don't care. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care. You're not going to do that. My boss, I already told my boss, that's just how it is. I don't care. I don't care if it upsets the customer. It doesn't matter. Not happening. So I had to tell people, no. I don't care how many stuff you keep coming back with stuff. I'll go grab it out of your hands. You're not walking near the chipper, dude. And I posted it in the tree groups and all of the tree guys, and they're just say, yeah. I remember one time there was this lady. She snuck in behind us, threw stuff in the chipper, and was like, hee hee. Yeah, hee hee when you get sucked in and you die, you get ripped in half, or you get smacked in the head or eyes poked out because you think it was hee hee. People don't know, so you got to use your head. Anyways, let's get back to what we were going to do. And basically, we're just going to go super, super, super duper, duper fast. Give me 1 second to pretty good change this, don't I? Okay, good. All right, so this is the 5th. This is the same area, same exact spot. I'm gonna go over here, go over to spectrogram. Click that on, give it a couple seconds. And then go over here, go to settings. I personally like 10,000, scale range. You can do a bunch of different stuff and change the colors and all that. But I like this. Dual channels. I just like to look at only one. It's just easier for me. I personally just like that. So we got rain or something. We got to zoom in because these are hours. So that always takes a minute to load up. But we'll zoom in real quick, and then we'll super scroll fast to anything that really catches our eye. Looks like the bug is having his fun, that you can tell right here, obviously. Okay, put it at 5 intervals. Down here, this is this. I wonder if this is the sound where I heard a tree knock after I set the recorder out. I don't think it was that Sunday, actually. I think it's the recordings before this. I think this is me. Yeah, this is me. So those are tree knocks from me. Because I set the recorder out a couple days before this, and I thought I heard a tree knock, and I was like, oh, I got it. And I wanted also to see how close these other knocks were to the recorder and stuff like that. So I am like maybe 50 feet from the recorder, maybe 25 to 50 feet. So anyways, I just wanted to do that little test right there because I wanted to see what it would look like. And so we're going to skip ahead. Fireworks. Still probably going to hear a bunch of fireworks and all that. And here we have more birds or something. Train horns. Yeah. Train. We got the bug. We got little stuff. These are some kind of scratching sounds or something. Fireworks. Fireworks, different kinds of pop-in fireworks. All right, zoom, zoom, zoomity, zoom, zoom. That would be the bug, I'm guessing. We're gonna skip it because it's at the beginning of the recording. So let's find a skip. Typically, if I find something that's in the middle of the recording, I'll like to section it out so I don't lose it. But if there's something at the beginning, like the first hour and stuff, I don't need to typically worry about it because I know where it's at. Listen to this. We're just going super fast. A lot of bug stuff. So we're gonna go live again next. I was thinking about going live Saturday, but maybe doing an open mic show. It's a car, and then the bug is messing with the recorder. The only problem is the algorithm and all that is not. I gotta get back in the algorithm and stuff, so that's why it's not. People are not getting notifications as much as they used to and all stuff because I've been out of the swing for too long. But basically, we're like starting over from zero because I already know people are not getting notifications because I didn't get notifications. Because I didn't get notifications on my other profiles and other stuff, so it's like okay, I already know the game is being played. It's okay. Not worried about any of that because it's not about views and all that. It'd be nice to get my evidence out there to be viewed. That's what I want. I don't want slop, like Cabin of the Woods fake, I don't even know what that. Before I lose my train of thought, like someone posted about Cabin in the Woods supposedly taking other people's evidence and stuff, and then like throwing on false information or adding on information of his own that has nothing to do or is not related to the evidence being shown. Someone actually said he was stealing this stuff. And I haven't looked in. I don't know. But like stuff like that, it's just all that slop crap gets views and views and views and views. And it's not even a dude who goes out in the woods. It has anything of his own to show. Like there's plenty of researchers besides me, don't even have to count me, that have stuff to show that are not getting the views, or not getting, we shouldn't focus on, that's just human nature, everyone likes a good story, but everyone's focused on all these fake stuff, fake channels. You got this one guy, younger guy who's, tries to go viral and stuff all the time, who uses other people's evidence and says, oh my gosh, or mostly it's just AI. And he's like, this is the newest, realest Bigfoot videos. What do you think? Blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, dude, why don't you just promote? If you took your channel and dedicated to promoting the real evidence that people think is more legitimate than the AI slop, like you would still get the views because you already have it built up, but you would also be able to showcase real researchers with real potential evidence that real people would like. It matters, not this AI garbage from like Bozy or the Bigfoot expert because it's a AI photo of Bigfoot that's close and you can see its face. Like we're living in the Twilight Zone as it is, but like really bad with the Bigfoot community. I don't think that's a really. I'm pretty sure that's not a firework. It sounds like a. I think it's the bug or something on the tree that gets knocked or moved. So we're just going to basically separate that, and then we're going to keep on moving on because I can always go back. We got some kind of animals or something possibly playing here. Car. It's a car. Right here, loud right here. Hear that bug just sawing away on the bag or something next to the bag. I don't know. It's not every time I look at the bag it has chew marks on it, so I'm not exactly sure what the bugs are doing, but I know that's what that sound is. And it's disappointing and stuff because you don't want to waste your time and energy focusing on this and then also losing your focus because of this also because she's like, oh, I don't want to check this, right? I should skip it because I know it's the bug, but at the same time I gotta check. But it's almost our 2 hours are up, so we're just gonna keep scrolling. Nothing jumping out at us. Most likely the bug because there's smaller individual ones and a pattern of the bug. There's a plane, train horn. Yeah, I should have said train horn. Planes and look like this too. They have the striations that go horizontally. Usually, though, they're like wider and stuff. The train horns, they look like that too. Train horns are usually lower at. What in the? Did you guys? I don't know. Well, I don't know if you guys heard that or not. Did you guys hear that? There's something just got knocked over right there. Okay. Another discussion for another time. Maybe there might be some paranormal stuff going on. Maybe the hitchhiker effect is going on. I just had something knocked over right there. I know you guys see me reacted to it. I don't know if you guys heard it or not. The mic might have picked it up. It's about at the 2 hour mark, right? Okay, so I'll definitely be able to check that out later. That especially if you can hear it, that'd be cool. That'd be cool, man. It's like messing with my Indian dudes. I got my Indian dudes over there. The plan is to basically set up this room to where I don't have to have this green screen. Now this is like a plane or just wind or a car. Jet aircraft. So that is the signature of the jet aircraft flying by. Planes look a little bit more like the train sound, where you see the striation lines a little bit clearly. These ones, they're kind of like a wavy, like, you know how they like, you see this line that goes down. That's what the jet signature really has, where the plane signature does not have this. It dips down like that. They have lines that go super straight, which we've shown on other live streams, of course. So we're about 5 hours in, and it is looking like there is nothing significant, which is okay, which happens most of the time, because I don't have Bigfoot on my recordings every single day. I put one out there, but you know, there are definitely, that's the bug. There are definitely signs, and I'm gonna go over this more slower, like I said. Oh, take a look at that one. Probably the bug. Really jabbing at the bag. Yeah, what's this? Some wedge or something. The jet or the highway, one of the two. Gotta amplify it. The jet aircraft. Or the jet. Here we have something. Car, wind. Highway sounds. Someone going over rumble strips, kind of a thing, or highway sounds. We have something. Car driving away, revving up the engines. And I've got some pretty cool, like, beefy muscle car sounds. And they have a pretty unique signature, or nice V8 sounds. Nice. These are just more aircraft, bug sounds, aircraft. Aircraft, train horn kind of things. These are the striations that I'm talking about. Train horn. Well, these kind of look like what a regular prop plane would look like, except for the prop plane would be, it wouldn't stop, you know, it would keep going continuously, and it's a little bit more wider on the spectrogram. And the good thing is, you know, the train horns don't sound anything like my Bigfoot vocalizations that I catch in this area. Yeah, clearly a big difference. So take a listen to this. That is rumble strips. And so, again, easily able to tell what that is. Because I've listened to these sounds dozens of times, and I already know and categorized what that sound is, and it sounds completely different than the big thud sounds, than any sounds that we present as like Tree Knox vocalizations found in this area. So when people say you don't know what you're listening at or listening for, it's like, well, actually I do, because I have dozens of different examples of what it doesn't sound like that you can identify as gunshots, cars, planes, fireworks, or whatever. Owls, coyotes. Car, that's a car revving in the background, right? Farther distance away. So, yeah, I actually feel like I do kind of know what I'm doing because I've been at this a while. That's actually, when people say there's no Bigfoot experts, there's no experts. Well, how do you become an expert? Well, you do something over and over and over and over again and get proficient at it. So, I think I'm getting a little bit more proficient at audio stuff because I've been going through hundreds of, I don't know, hundreds of audio. I mean, hundreds of audio. I mean, by the end of summer, I should have well, let's say if we just do, 150 hours per month, that's just 15 days of audio. That's just 15 nights of audio. So it adds up very quickly. I'm going to have over 500 hours worth this year or more. And that's just added on to the other hundreds of hours worth that I got last year and a little bit less than the year before. And about the same the year before that. So, yeah, I don't know, when you go through close to or probably about 1,000 hours worth of audio, yeah, you probably, you learn a little something. There's a train in the background, further in the background, right? And then morning, because now we have the songbirds, the morning birds singing. And so this is where I would typically just stop. I typically will finish the recording, right? But typically I don't listen to the daytime or say this ran another 7 hours after I stop this. I typically don't go through that audio because they would just be another just hours and hours and hours and hours to go through. That from all my experiences and stuff, I've just never got anything in the mornings or during the daytime that is significant. So, like, typically when the song burns, the morning happens, that's it, We have all, because have all these animals and stuff making all these noises, and it's a vehicle. You have a snap right there or something. Huh. You must say I never check in the morning. Here's something I should here's something. We have to go over here. We'll go over to volume, amplify. 6.5. We're going to amplify this and then basically it off because I'm starving. Oh, that might be a deer. Yeah, it might be a deer snort. It's not, just doesn't quite sound like. It doesn't quite sound like the tree snaps that I've heard before that I have and presented, but and they have that vehicle moving down. So, with nothing else apparently going on before and after this and during the night, it's not something again that I would chalk up to Bigfoot or anything. You know, it's just interesting sound that happened in the middle of the morning. But I will go back and look at that a little bit more slower, and all of that. And there's that. So that's it. 2 nights of audio this last weekend where basically nothing happened, which is a drag, but at the same time, you know, kind of to be expected. I'm glad that you guys were able to hang out with me, spend time with me. Show you how I kind of just go over things. You know, it's real simple, real basic. It's not, doesn't have to be crazy rocket science to be able to get evidence and see stuff. Now we should be able to present that to other people who are more skilled and able to do stuff, pull stuff out. I'm all for that. You know, I'm just a citizen wannabe scientist, you know, a citizen wannabe scientist, not even a citizen scientist. So, you know, hey, at least I'm just trying. That's all. You know, I mean, that's it. If I had better equipment, I could definitely, I feel like I would have better results. I have the time. I have the time now. I have the money, time, everything. But if I had better equipment, I think I could definitely get more stuff, better quality stuff. You'd be able to hear stuff a lot better. You know, with an $800 piece of audio equipment, just one piece of audio equipment, that's $800. Yeah, that'd probably pick up some stuff. I'm gonna get a couple lower priced ones, spread them out, and I think they should work pretty good. About as good as this one though, too, maybe a little better. But the goal is to get real genuine pieces of audio equipment that, you know, be able to sit out there for weeks at a time and really make a difference between the results that we are getting and showing you guys and the results that we want to get, and hopefully one day we'll get to show you guys and what a difference it will hopefully be. I've been working in this area for a couple of years now. Very confident. I am very confident. I over the last couple of days and since then, I think I put the recorder out on. I just put the recorder out today. Yeah, I don't think I did Monday. I was very hopeful for these recordings because there have been more walnuts that have been placed up in these bushes and stuff, and I've been putting different walnut and stuff. Put it in one, but something moved and changed it around. All of a sudden, on the trail, there's these old walnuts that weren't there. I just found. I know I said I'm going to end the show and stuff, but I'm excited because I'm finding, you know, it's findings. I expected stuff to happen on this weekend but once again, you know, you can't expect too much. All right, so Tuesday, I was out there Tuesday, so I did put it out Monday. Tuesday, I found. I'll show you guys right there. Oh, you guys can't see it. In the crotch of that, there's another walnut that got placed in there. That wasn't there before. This is interesting. Oh man, you can't see it. guys can see that. Okay, kind of. Okay, so this is placed down the trail where I walk all the time. You have the stick going through, but you have this over top of that, okay? That wasn't there before. That didn't fall like that. That did not fall like that. That was not on this trail because I've been looking at this spot because I'm pretty sure they were putting other little things around the spot. But I wasn't quite sure. I'm pretty sure after this. And then I went out there today. This is completely broken off and they switched it. And now, today, come here, back over here. Here. Right. Give me a second. Being goofy. Did it not save? Oh, I videotaped it on the GoPro. Dang it. All right. Anyways, well, that was switched around and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, Tuesday, when I got to pick up the recorder, I walked into a spot where I go all the time, every single day, basically every other day. I found this old gunshot shell. It was right there. I mean, it's just right there. You can't really see it, but my foot, that's my foot right there. The gunshot shell, the shell is right there. This shell is placed right in front of where I got to get my recorder. It's right there. I've been staring at the ground for dozens and dozens of times the past couple of years, and this was not there. This has never been there. This has never been in the area. This has never been anywhere. It was placed and then smushed into the ground. I picked it up. It was stuck in the ground. It was not there. It wasn't there yesterday. It wasn't there on the 4th of July. I put those recorder out Saturday and Sunday. It wasn't there. Put it out there Monday. It wasn't there. I picked it up on Tuesday. That's laying there. Smashed into the ground. Old and used. Rusted. It's not like someone just shot it. It's indented. It's put into the ground and indented. It's old and rusted and used, weatherized. It wasn't there. It hasn't been there. It wasn't there. It wasn't covered with leaves. No. So I put a stick in it and I put it into a different spot. And I forgot to go check it today. I forgot to look around the tree where I put it. But that wasn't there. Okay, so when I'm saying like, hey, there's stuff going on. So I kind of expected stuff to happen on the 4th of July. I'm kind of expecting stuff to hopefully happen on the Monday recording. The only reason why I don't have that up is because I have to download it and then get it ready for Audacity and stuff. And I wanted to go over this stuff first because I was hoping that, I don't know, I was hoping there's stuff happening this weekend, and then hopefully there's something happening on Monday that corresponds with the shotgun shell that is placed right there by the recorder. Because that would be awesome. Now, if there's nothing on the recordings, that's okay too. Because this shotgun shell wasn't there. And you're telling me that some random guy, I got my old shotgun shell from, back home, and I'm going to go put it just randomly right here. Stomping in the ground a little bit. That's my trail marker where I'm going to go hunting at. And hopefully it don't get covered up by leaves and taken off by scavengers and all sorts of things. Hopefully I can find it. Not like I nailed it to a tree where you could spot at eye level when you're walking around. Not something you got to look in the leaf litter for. But I focusing on stuff that's on the ground, stuff all over. So I noticed this because it's where my feet walk all the time. This was never there. So that's the newest findings. We still have to go over the recorder for Monday. Hopefully something's there. I don't know. There's stuff going on. I don't know. I don't know if you guys just heard this something get knocked over like 15 minutes ago, half an hour ago. Regardless, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the night, evening, morning, whatever you're watching this. Hopefully God blesses each and every one of you, for you are loved, you're cared for. No matter what ups and downs, roller coasters, and all around you go through life, he's always there with you. You just have to know to listen, look, and feel it. And that is definitely the recipe for my success, is praying and believing in having faith in Jesus and God. So God bless each and every one of you, your families, and all of that. Contact me at on Facebook. I'm all over the place. We're gonna play. We got some new music, but it's not ready. We'll be on the lookout. I'm gonna drop some to the videos soon. And for that special little someone who's in this who's in the chat watching, we're gonna present you with our best song. This is probably one of the best Bigfoot songs that you're ever gonna hear, and 100% my lyrics, my creation, my passion.
The search begins with a curious mind, exploding from the mystery it finds from books, movies, or the face-to-face encounter. The magic of the foot is known to all who dive into the depths of its mystery. From the shadows of the land does he pass by, from the colors of the light he disappears around the corner, peeking around the tree. He looks around to be found. Oh, from the day to the night he stands ready for a fright, a fight, or a fun Saturday night. With you, without you, doesn't matter, he's still out there waiting for the moment with you. For a second with magic, leaving more of my mind than any answers that can be found. Oh, why do I care? As the madness of it all descends upon me, the mystery remains. Always there, always just out of reach.